like the idea that a voice can just go somewhere uninvited, like a dirty thought in a nice clean mind.
Welcome back to the Liberal Lens. I'm Jay, and today there's even more emails released about Trump, giving even more evidence of his relationship with Epstein and showing how much further it even goes. There is some wild stuff that got revealed today. We thought the release of the first batch was wild. Wait till you hear what's going on if you already haven't seen. Let's get into it. All right, so newly revealed Jeffrey Epstein emails show he gave a girlfriend to Donald Trump when he was associated with him. The Jeffrey Epstein scandal just keeps escalating. It is not good for the Trump administration, and even more emails are going to come out from the House Oversight Committee. It's getting wild. One of them shows an email from Jeffrey Epstein to London Thomas Jr., a New York Times reporter. The subject line reads, Trump. That carried a link and said, my 20-year-old girlfriend in 93, that after 2 years, I gave her to Donald. He gave her to Donald in 93. I'll let you do the math and figure out who that probably is. So this matches up with the joke in the famous Epstein birthday book about Donald Trump purchasing a depreciated woman from Epstein. And again, we'll let you do the math and figure out who that lady probably is. I'm willing to bet she has a son named Barron, but I'll let you make your own decision. All right, so then other emails that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had sent talked about that Epstein and Trump spent Thanksgiving together in 2017. Think about that. In 2017, what was Donald Trump doing on Thanksgiving in 2017? Oh, the president of the United States of America was spending Thanksgiving with the biggest pederast in the history of the United States and maybe the world. But that's all. Just a nice Thanksgiving with friends, hanging out with people close to you. Yeah. In the email dated 11/23/17, Faith Cates asks where Epstein is spending Thanksgiving, and Epstein responds, Eva, believed to be referring to Eva Anderson Dubbin, an ex-girlfriend of Epstein's and wife to billionaire Glenn Dubbin. Katie replies that Glenn will be there, but that he is such a snooze, and then she asks who else will be there. Epstein responds, David Hanson Trump. Another email from December 2017 from one of Epstein's victims reads, I don't want to come early to find Trump is in your house, which would imply that split between Donald Trump and Epstein wasn't real, that they were still hanging out together while Donald Trump was running for office and well in office, even though Donald Trump tries to convince us that they had a falling out at Mar-a-Lago way before this. And remember, that was over a girl Epstein took from Mar-a-Lago that pissed Trump off because he believed she belonged to him. And doesn't this all raise serious questions about Trump and the fact that he was president when Epstein passed, when he supposedly took his own life? Very convenient that this happened to the one guy who has all the tea on Trump. And then it has to put into question, if Trump's lied about this from the beginning, how can MAGA believe him on anything else he said? And I know he's lied about policy and what he's going to do. Does MAGA start to realize that this is a full-blown scandal and Donald Trump's in the middle of it? And I read a quote today, and I'm really sorry, I don't remember who said it, but it made me laugh, but it's sad because it's kind of true. It said, at the end of the day, we're going to find out that Epstein was in the Trump files. And it really looks like that's what's happening. And now you have people like Meg Kelly and other people really trying to soften the blow that we're about to find out that we have the pedo in chief running the United States. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. And you tell me and decide for yourself if this isn't just getting ahead of the ball game because you know what's about to jump on Trump and trying to soften the blow that he's a pedo.
Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And
all right, I don't even know where to start with that shit. He's not a pedophile. He's into the barely legal, like 15. When did 15 become barely legal? I'm not sure there's any place where 15 is legal. Let's rewind to when Trump said, Jeffrey's a nice guy. I like him. We both like girls on the younger side. And I guess by textbook definition that if they're over the age of 13, I think it's technically a hebephile, but is this what we're arguing? That he's not a pedophile, he's a hebephile, which makes it okay? Or is Meg Kelly just trying to soften the blow by getting this out into the world, trying to like normalize this type of behavior with young girls so that when the bomb drops on Trump, they can try to run cover for him? Because it is absolutely wild to me that somebody would take the stance that it's okay because the girls are 15 and not 8. At what planet does that even make sense? Like, this is the kind of wild shit MAGA comes up with to try to deflect the fact that their cult leader is a pedo. And I don't know how far this has to go before they wake up, but literally I see it in the comments on the Facebook page. People will go to the end of the earth to defend Trump, even as this keeps coming out. And then people were like, I got this comment a few times. They're like, all those emails are from 2011 and they prove Trump didn't do shit. First, they prove Trump and Epstein were close. And second, these emails are from 2017 when the pedo-in-chief was president of the United States on his first term. And then Jeffrey Epstein ends up unaliving himself and Trump is president and the cameras quit working. Yeah, that all makes complete sense. Nothing to see here, folks. This is just normal everyday operations. He just took his own life while the camera stopped working. Oh, and by the way, his best friend, who he's got dirt on about being a pedo, is in the White House. And it's not like Trump could pardon him without everybody knowing that he was protecting his secrets with Epstein. And what's going to keep Epstein from talking when he has to do all this time in prison, when he's got a big card to play in Donald Trump? So what's the easiest thing for Trump? Eliminate Epstein. And the fact that MAGA can't put all of this together, it's not that they can't. It's they don't want to. They don't want to admit they've been lied to. They don't want to admit that their belief system's bullshit. And it's really hard for people to accept the fact that they were wrong. And I always say it is okay to change your opinion or your stance when given new information. So MAGA, we gave you new information. It's time to leave the cult. It's time to get away from Trump. I'm not saying you have to become a liberal or a Democrat. I'm not saying that you even have to like the Democratic Party. Leave the mega cult and try to get your GOP back, because Trumpism has killed the GOP. The GOP does not exist anymore. There is no such thing as moderate, Republicans. And I know people are saying, well, it's not all of them. Not all of them are carrying Trump's water and MAGA. They're all protecting him. They're all not signing this petition to make sure the Epstein files are hidden. They're all running coverage for Trump. Mega Mike's out there running coverage for Donald Trump every chance he gets. And as he has so much power as the Speaker of the House, he can run great coverage. Caroline Leavitt is the spin master. She's out there spinning everything about Trump, saying anything she can with her verbal gymnastics. You have people like Meg Kelly and all the pundits at Fox News covering up. Tucker Carlson, all of the crazy bastards like Alex Jones out there covering up for Trump, even though they were screaming for the Epstein files forever. And as soon as they find out that they're cult leaders in them, then there's no such thing as the Epstein files. Nothing to see here, folks. And like, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here for so many people won't look at the facts in front of them and adjust their opinion, won't change their stance while given new evidence? Like, if you guys got a suggestion on what we do, drop that in the comment, because I am at a loss here. I thought human decency, children getting assaulted, like the whole world pretends that they're against sex trafficking and pedophiles until somebody they support is one of them. And I am really sick of this Bill Clinton argument. If Bill Clinton is a pedo, lock him up. Nobody on the left is defending Bill Clinton, but everybody on the right is defending Trump. This is crazy. We do not protect sex offenders. They're not one of us. They were just masquerading as one of us. And as soon as they're found out, we're done with that shit. Lock him up, lock up everybody in the Epstein files who did something to violate any human being. But man, I think there's just more to come. We're going to keep getting these leaks. We have the House Oversight Committee. We have the Epstein estate leaking. We do have enough signatures on the petition. And then here comes the question. When they take this to a vote, how many Republicans are going to cross the line? Because here's the thing. They have to run for re-election. 2026, 2028, 2030, whatever it is. And how do you stand up on a debate stage? And how do you argue that you're the best person from the job when the other person on the debate stage can just go, how can we trust you? You defended a pedophile. You did everything you could to cover up for a pedophile. How can we trust you to represent any person in this country except maybe a pedophile? But I'm guessing most of us don't want representatives who are going to represent those type of people with low moral character that should not be allowed to walk freely among the streets because they have victimized the most vulnerable people, and the people that we are supposed to protect the most, our children and our women. And on top of all this, he's tanking the economy. But let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Tell me what you think about all of this information leaking, where we go from here, how Meg is going to handle it, and how we move forward to combat this and to make sure these people are held accountable, because the only way we get this done is by the voice of everyone. We need the American people to stand up and say, we are not going to take you hiding these files anymore. And we need half of MAGA to wake the fuck up and put pressure on the rest of the Republicans and let them know, if you keep carrying water for Trump, you're not going to have a job anymore. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Thank you for all the support. Facebook is growing at a rate I can't even believe. I love you guys for it. It is so amazing. I'm so impressed all the time when I get on there and see the growth, how many people are commenting, interacting, watching the videos. And so if you're enjoying the content, please make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe. If only for the fact, again, I am one video away from Meta getting pissed off and me getting removed from their platforms. So if you follow on YouTube, then if it does get taken off of Facebook and Instagram, you'll still have a place to follow and keep up with everything's going on. And we're all fighting this fight together. So make sure you drop a comment, drop a like, share the content if you think it's relevant and people need to hear it. Again, I really appreciate you guys. One world, one love, deuces.
Everything's polluted. The environment, the government, the schools, you name it.
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
You out there? You listen.